In a distant future, Earth had become a mere footnote in the annals of history. Once the center of civilization, the planet had been overshadowed by the rise of the Zelthari, an alien race renowned for their technological prowess and formidable psychic abilities. Towering figures with emerald skin and elongated limbs, the Zelthari had conquered countless worlds, leaving only destruction and despair in their wake. On a seemingly ordinary day, the Zelthari launched their invasion of Earth. Massive ships descended from the sky, blotting out the sun and casting an ominous shadow over cities. The populace, dazed and bewildered, watched as the alien vessels released swarms of drones, each equipped with weapons that could disintegrate a human in an instant. Panic spread like wildfire. People screamed and fled, collapsing in fear at the sight of the invaders. Yet amidst the chaos, a group of humans stood tall, their expressions resolute. Marcus, a former soldier with a deep-seated hatred for oppression, gathered his ragtag band of survivors in an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of New York City. Their faces were smeared with dirt and fear, but their eyes held a spark of defiance. "Listen up!" Marcus shouted, his voice cutting through the fear like a knife. "The Zelthari think we're weak. They think they can come here and bully us into submission. But we are not just any species. We are humans!" The others looked at him, uncertainty still lingering in their eyes. Among them was Lila, a brilliant engineer who had spent years building devices from scraps of technology. She stepped forward, her brow furrowed. "Marcus, I understand the desire to fight back, but they have advanced weapons. We're outmatched." "That may be true," Marcus replied, a fierce determination igniting within him. "But we have something they don't, our will to survive. We're adaptable, resourceful. When we face a challenge, we rise to meet it." As if on cue, a thunderous roar erupted from above, shaking the very foundation of the warehouse. A Zelthari scout ship hovered, its drone swarms circling like vultures. The humans ducked instinctively, but Marcus held his ground. "We need a plan," he said, urgency replacing the momentary shock. "Lila, can you rig something to disrupt their drones?" Lila nodded, her mind racing. "I can create an EMP device, but I need components from the old military base nearby." "It's risky, but it might just work." "Then that's our mission. We get what we need and we fight back," Marcus declared, rallying his comrades. The group quickly assembled makeshift weapons, pipes, hammers, and anything they could find. With their hearts pounding and a flicker of hope igniting in their chests, they set out toward the abandoned military base. The streets were deserted, debris littering the ground as the drones continued their relentless search for survivors. As the group neared the base, they could see the remnants of what had once been a symbol of human strength. Now it lay in ruins, but within its walls was the technology they desperately needed. Once inside, Lila led the charge, scavenging through rusted crates and debris. The others stood guard, their eyes darting nervously for any sign of the Zelthari. Minutes felt like hours, but finally Lila emerged with a tangle of wires, a battery pack, and an old EMP generator. "This will work," she announced, her face lit with determination. With their prize in hand, they retraced their steps, adrenaline coursing through their veins. But as they approached the warehouse, the ground shook violently, and a voice echoed in their minds, an ominous tone reverberating with the weight of authority. "Humans are nothing but insects," it said. "You will bow before us or face annihilation." Marcus clenched his fists, anger boiling within him. "They think they can intimidate us. We won't back down." Back in the warehouse, Lila immediately set to work, her hands deftly assembling the EMP device. The others watched anxiously, their breaths held tight. With every connection made, the tension in the air thickened. Finally, Lila stepped back, wiping the sweat from her brow. "It's ready," she announced, her voice steady. "We need to find a way to get it close to their main ship." As night fell, the Zelthari's massive ship loomed overhead, illuminating the darkened streets with its cold metallic glow. The humans strategized, deciding to create a diversion. Marcus took charge, his voice booming with authority. "All right, here's the plan. We'll split into two groups. One will create a distraction at the ship's base while the other sneaks in with the EMP. We'll only have one shot at this." With determination in their eyes, the groups moved into position. Marcus and Lila, along with a few others, approached the main ship while the distraction team ignited nearby fires and made loud noises, drawing the drones away. The plan unfolded like clockwork, and soon Marcus and his team were at the foot of the colossal vessel.
"Now, Lila!"
Marcus urged as the drones began to notice their presence. Lila set the EMP device down, pressing the activation button. A blinding light erupted, followed by a deafening silence as the drones fell from the sky, their systems fried. "Run!" Marcus shouted, adrenaline fueling their escape. The humans sprinted, dodging the falling drones as they raced back toward the city. They could hear the Zelthari roaring in rage, the sound echoing like thunder behind them. As they reached a safe distance, they turned to watch the chaos unfold. The once feared Zelthari ship struggled to stabilize, and for the first time, fear flickered across their features. Marcus felt a rush of exhilaration as he witnessed the panic of their oppressors. "Humans! We are not to be trifled with!" Marcus yelled, his voice booming over the chaos. The others cheered, a wave of courage washing over them. In that moment, the tide began to turn. The humans were no longer the cowering victims. They were warriors, fighting back against a common foe. The spirit of humanity surged forth, igniting a flame that would not be extinguished. As the stars twinkled above, the humans rallied together, ready to take back their world. United by their resilience, they understood that fear might have gripped their hearts, but it would never define them. For in the face of an overwhelming enemy, they stood firm. And for the first time in ages, the Zelthari felt the true strength of humanity, a force that could not be easily subdued.